Hi guys. It's a little late tonight, but I decided that I need to do this video and just kind of discuss a couple things. Um, been having a hard time sleeping, and I got into working with mental health and with that youth, at-risk youth, for a reason because I had gone through it and understood it. It wasn't until recently when I was going through school that I kind of got interested in more of adults, or even children with special needs, be it autism, more specifically autism, something that I was really excited about learning more about. But I always had a belief that I don't like using the word they, them. It kind of really, it's like, saying to the Aboriginal community, them, or somebody facing addictions, addicts, or they. It just categorizes people. And even with my own ignorance, I did that with special needs, no matter how severe it was. You know, uh, what I found is I got a job working within special needs, and it's not an area I'm overly familiar with. But the more I've been a part of the organization that I'm with, I've come to a realization. We communicate things. We all have our struggles, but I was ignorant too when I saw somebody with autism. I didn't really think there was somebody there. It's just kind of that stigma that what we don't know. And it's been really interesting because the organization I've been working with, we deal with special needs, people with disabilities. Just it's not just about Down syndrome. It's developmental, and it struggles. And I've always wondered, inside that body that you see, and through whatever they're facing disability wise, and maybe not being able to communicate with people, is there something in them? Do people with needs feel and think like I do, the same way I do? And I always felt that maybe there was something more, a soul, like what we talk about. Are they just trapped in a body and not able to communicate the same way we do? And, it's interesting because no matter how severe or how low functioning they are, or how great of a functioning people with disabilities are, I've just been really intrigued because I think what's missing is we have to learn how somebody communicates their feelings. Like some of us, I have mental health problems, which but developmentally I'm fine. Physically I'm fine. But it's kind of interesting for me in this, where I know how to express my feelings, and there's places where I'm weak at that, asking for help or really getting into it. So I have a hard time verbalizing or communicating what I'm feeling. So what makes somebody with special needs any different? I think that what I'm learning is I need to, and this is for parents, out there as well, we need to learn and spend time and understand where they're coming from. For instance, I've met a girl, and she does have behavioral. I like the behavioral aspect of it, and she gets agitated really quick. But what I found is with encouragement, positive encouragement, yes, I let her know what she's doing is being a little aggressive. What would you do to calm yourself down? And I let her talk to me like I would somebody sitting maybe with some depression or anxiety or a youth. But they need words of encouragement. She needed words of encouragement, because I noticed when I encouraged her, even though she did something maybe wrong, she was a little bit verbal about it. Somebody with special needs or development deserve the same treatment. It's how we word it. And with her, I would say, okay, you know what? But I'm proud of you. You didn't get as angry as you did last time, and I understand why you're at. It's just the way we talk. And then I've had a nice young man. He's got severe disabilities, developmental. He can't communicate, and they said he was deaf. A lot of you who know about autism, a lot of times somebody with autism and developmental, they don't look at you in the eyes. So I do know that he has some sort of, falls under the autism spectrum, and he doesn't look at you. So they claimed him to be deaf because he's nonverbal. And it's interesting because many times I take note and I watch him. And for instance, I took him for a walk today, and we came to a crosswalk where he has to push a button. I just thought, why don't I just try, So I said to him, oh, we got to push the button first. And he pushed the button. But here's where it got more interesting for me. We went over to the lake and we came back, and this time I decided not to say anything to him and to see if he understood that. And the most interesting thing is he pulled me towards the button and pushed the button to cross the road. I think we as professionals, even people with family, to get a better understanding, we need to change the way we communicate, and how that we need to, I know a lot of asylums, I've read into this, and like how they treated people with disabilities through torture and punishment. Does it work for us? Does it work for me? If somebody's just constantly punishing me and on me about negative stuff, why would I try? Why would I give any effort? And I've got people looking after me, and I'm not, getting involved, and I'm not, pushing those, being my skills being pushed. It's no different, but we just need to learn. People with disabilities, they express it different, and they're triggered by things. A lot of the, participants that I've met now have come from some of the, back in the 60s, and, when a lot of these places, you should look into them, have shut down, and the torture, pulling their teeth, the coldness, they have triggers. People with depression, anxiety, PTSD, we have triggers. We think normal. We act what society deems as normal. But we have triggers too. Why does somebody with disabilities have to be any different? That's a good question. And I'm going to continue to study this. I just need to get this. This has been driving me nuts because, we put limitations. Oh, no, they can't have coffee. Well, who says? If they've got sugar or health, but if have a decaf cup of coffee, or if we don't want something, why? They're adults. Why should they have to go without? Because we're telling them. I think now we just need to spend a little bit more time. And guys, listen, I'm learning. This is amazing for me because this is not an area I thought I would want to be in. Again, it was my ignorance. I followed what media and what people. Problem is with our healthcare workers, they are being attacked. They are being in aggressive situations because they don't know and they're not equipped to deal with these kind of situations, and they get burnt out. A lot of you who are not in this area, I'm in it and I can understand. I see especially women dominate this area because they're very compassionate. So men, unfortunately we are very short in this industry. So a lot of these women and nurses have been doing it for so long, and they're getting tired and they're getting burnt out. And I think now we need to look at skills and ways that we can treat people with disabilities no different than you treat your fellow man who is not labeled with disabilities. We just need to learn how to understand the language and communicate. And trust me, may not be, I personally would think if somebody was considered completely non-functional and there's no brain activity, well, wouldn't that mean they're in a coma? And even in coma, there's brain activity. So they would be, vegetables. These people aren't vegetables. And I hate to say the words again, these people, but people with disabilities and developmental and behavioral, no difference. So I'm glad I got this off my chest. I hope this helps out some of you who are getting into this. Maybe some of you have been there. Empathy plays both ways. It goes through people who are healthy, who are struggling, developmental, and I'll advocate to this. And I'll bring more to you as I know. But thanks, guys, for following us. Much love. Mental Health Open Discussions. Follow us on YouTube or come to our Facebook page. Thanks, guys. Bye.